What's going on, world? Welcome to another episode of the Walker Review. It's your boy B Walk, and we're here at Geek League Studios. How you doing, ma'am?
Hi, how are you?
How you living in these streets?
Blessed and highly favored.
Amen, hallelujah. The voice that you hear on the other side of me is Miss Tarjay, serial entrepreneur, recording artist. Hey man, we got a lot of great things to talk about. How you living in these streets? Other than blessed and highly favored, how is music going? Business?
Music is going pretty well. Business is going really well.
Girl, that account seeing a lot of zeros. A lot of zeros.
I don't like the flex.
Well, don't too much, okay?
But God's been good.
Understand? Amen, okay? But for those who may not know you and probably been on a rock somewhere, tell people who you are. Tell them a little bit about yourself.
My name is Tahja, 24 years old. I live in Texas, not really in Dallas, but I claim it.
Okay. she was a little shady. I live in Texas, but I don't claim Dallas. Okay. Where do you claim?
No, I claim Dallas, but I don't live in Dallas.
Okay. And we ain't gonna ask where she stay. No, guys, I don't need y'all.
Yeah, that's why I said that.
Stalking is real out here. We out here watching these Surviving R. Kelly's and all these other series.
God.
So we're not gonna get into that. But for starters, we had a conversation at my boy Ryan. Shout out to Ryan. Had an amazing networking event. We were able to collab, have a conversation where we discussed we needed to get an interview in. And I listened to some of your music. I thought it was dope. And then I also saw that you were really booming in the hair industry, which a lot of us, our sisters, our black sisters, are taking advantage of. But I wanted to get into the music a little bit.
Okay.
When did you develop an ear for music?
I've been doing music my entire life. I know people say that, but I've been writing songs since I was like 6. They were trash back then, but I used to write songs since I was 6 years old, write them on a piece of paper and read them to my grandma. So that's how that all started. I got my first piano keyboard when I was in the 6th grade. My grandma got that for me. And then in church, I was, of course, playing the drums, playing the piano in church, choir throughout high school, middle school,
So you was active as far as in the music side in church?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I've never seen a woman play the drums or the piano in church. So
I would sit over by the drum player and the piano player, and I picked up everything. I don't know how to read music. So I literally just sit over there. My dad let me, and one day, one of the ladies, she couldn't get the song right, and I asked to hop on. I was in like the 7th grade, and they let me play, and it was uphill from there.
That's dope. Who were some artists that you grew up listening to that you really gained some inspiration from?
Man, of course, with my parents being pastors, I listened to only gospel music growing up. Okay. So of course, Mary, Kurt Franklin.
Shout out to Kurt.
Yeah, but even T.D. Jakes, he had like a dope R&B like love album for. Of course, my parents listened to that, which is why I got hooked to it. Okay. David Hollister, he's like I guess I don't want to say that, but he's kind of like how R. Kelly raps. Okay. He does that in his music, but like gospel. So I had like some good R&B influences in the industry, listening to music growing up, but really R&B I didn't really get into till like in the 8th grade, 9th grade.
When it comes to music, when did you actually start taking it seriously?
When did I start? I would say back in 2015.
2015?
Yeah, I started doing like covers. I wasn't really sure that I could write my own music. Well, I was sure, but I didn't know like where to get beats and stuff like that. So I was pretty much just doing remixes of other people's, and freestyles and stuff like that. So I started putting that on YouTube. And once I saw that growing, then, some producers would reach out to me. And then like the first place I recorded was in someone's closet. But it still came out like super dope, and that was a great experience for me. After that, I went through artist development for about a year. Signed a contract. That was a bad contract. Thankfully I was able to get out of that, but I still didn't, I don't have any bad blood with them. And they still put me through the ropes. They still give me networking opportunities. So it's all about like not burning bridges, like networks and relationships, even if somebody do you wrong.
How would you describe your sound?
I want to say uplifting, one, because I always want to encourage no matter what I do. What's another? Raw, because it's always going to be real no matter what. And I would definitely say it's me, because a lot of people, they make music and it ain't really who they are.
Fubu Palooza. Talk about your experience, your performance. How did you like it?
Oh, it was crazy actually. So when
your
I
fit
got
was dope. My fault. Not to interrupt. Your fit was dope.
Oh,
I like
thank
the boots.
you, thank you. Oh, you know what? Those boots are my life.
Hey, they look heaven sent. You see that white? That was like fresh white. I'm talking about cocaine white.
Yeah, those boots are everything. And thank you. I put that together myself. But the experience was great. I really went there to network as well. I brought my business partner with me, and I brought another friend with me so he can network with pretty much like the underground scene of Dallas. But the response was incredible. When I got up there, I made it known that my music is going to glorify God, but it's y'all still going to be able to rock out to it type thing. So after the performance, this girl, she reached out to me on Instagram, and she was like, hey, you know, I talked to my husband about you. She was like, I'm not religious at all, but I love the fact that you shared that with everybody and you weren't ashamed. And I didn't care what anybody else said. Oh, you know, good job, good job. The fact that she said that to me, and you know, she's like not like religious based, nothing, that means the world to me, because it's like somebody actually vibe to it and they're not religious. You know what I'm saying?
And that's real, because to be honest, I really do appreciate when people send me messages like, bro, your interview really inspired me or really helped me in a way, because it's really, I take more heed to those personal reach outs than those group. Hey, shout out to you, bro, you doing your thing, you taking over the city.
Yeah.
Because most of the time I feel like, bro, y'all just saying it. It's like, bro, you just gassing. But when somebody's really man or woman enough, or really just brave enough to really reach out and let you know that you really made a stance of what I'm going through, it really does mean something to me.
Yeah, I try to reply to everybody like that, because there's a lot of dudes that be in my DMs all the time. Oh, you did good, you did good. And I'm like, where are you even doing?
They saying you trying to get good. So
you wasn't even there.
They trying to take you to get some wings. That's all they trying to do. They trying to take you on a Pluckers Day.
No thanks.
Okay. You said both of your parents were pastors. I know pastors' kids because I have some of my family, and they're kind of they have a certain kind of lifestyle.
They have a reputation.
Yeah, they do, and I don't want to have that negative mentality or pre notion of what they are. So tell me how your upbringing was, just being in a household that was both ran by pastors, and just was it hard to kind of hold up to that standard, or you never even thought of it like that?
I didn't think of it like that until I noticed that there was a prejudgment of us. So really until like I got into high school, when everyone's like, oh, you got PK, but in middle school I pretty much followed the rules because I had to. I snuck off and did my makeup at school, washed it off before I got home type of thing, but other than that I didn't really see a difference between me and everybody else. I did realize I didn't go to a lot of parties growing up. I didn't go over to a lot of people's houses and stuff like that. But I didn't really understand what was really going on until high school. Whenever I was like, oh, you're a PK. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I am.
Do you think that kind of lifestyle helped you because it kind of shielded you away from a lot of things, or did it hamper you moving forward? Both.
I feel both. Like, I'm so torn. I feel like I said this the other day. I didn't really get to sin how I see other people do. Like it's forgiven, but like as a kid, you we do it and we don't really understand what we're doing and stuff like that. So it's as a kid we're like super naive, but I didn't really get to make those mistakes to learn as a young adult. So I'm making a lot of mistakes now that I wish I would have been able to learn when I was younger. But I do appreciate my parents because I don't have to go through as much pain and hurt as I would have if I would have did it when I was a kid. Much more naive and not really being as wise as I am now, so.
Understood. So one thing that I've learned from watching on social media, you have a very, very, very large following. How were you able to gain such a large following?
It started on YouTube. YouTube was the easiest way to grow a following, just to get views. One, people are just gonna watch you whether they follow you or not. And I have YouTubers that I continuously watch, and I don't even follow them on social media. I'm not even subscribed to their pages, but I just want to see what they're doing and like what's going on. So YouTube was how everything started. I started doing hair reviews. I wasn't really into like doing makeup reviews. I'm pretty good at makeup but not that good, so I was just doing hair reviews, coloring my hair and stuff like that, and just seeing that grow. Then I linked up with She's Happy Hair, which was good. I got to go to a lot of networking events because of them, and I learned I met a lot of people on social media and off social media because of them. So that's how that started. That's how that started growing. Because usually in this social media era we're in nowadays, you see a lot of people faking you.
really faking it. And then once you go to the pictures, you see the likes are not adding up to the followers that you got. So I just really appreciate when people have genuine followers and it actually shows on their platforms.
Yeah.
But let's talk about one of your ventures that you're actually doing. Because the thing, I said the name completely wrong when I first mentioned it, but we got some French in it, okay?
Some French, yes.
Prive
Yes.
Extensions. How did that come about? Because I'll talk to you. I really want us to have an African American run hair distribution center, because that's something that we really purchase more than any other race, and we're not the ones that's actually receiving all the money back.
That's
so tell me how you got into that industry. Well, you can tell me.
Well, how did I come across the name, or how I got into the industry?
Well, tell me how you got to the name first.
Okay, so my platform used to be Major Bay. So I started off as Major Bay.
I remember that. I remember your Instagram name was there once before.
Yeah, Instagram was that, Twitter was that. I was calling myself the Bay of social media. Well, I didn't start that. Dudes started calling me Bay, and I was like, why do y'all keep calling me that? Like, that's so awkward.
You Bay material, what you mean?
No, but I just thought that was weird for them to call me Bay. And so I asked one guy, I was like, why do you keep calling me that? He was like, well, your Twitter name is Major Bay, so I just called you Bay. And I was like, oh. So then I just started calling myself Bay of social media. So when I started doing hair reviews and got my own, I named the company Major Bundles. Okay. So that's how that was. But once I switched over to Tarjay and just like wanted to brand myself as Tarjay and not Major anymore, I had to think of a different name, and so that's how I got to Prive Extensions.
And just when you decided to get into those business ventures, did you see something that you could do differently? Like, did you see this as something that you could really grow in and really make a name for yourself in, or did you see that as another form of revenue that you could actually make?
No, I remember not really having the job that I'm blessed to have now. So I didn't really have the money. I was working at Chick-fil-A. I was working at
that's God's chicken.
Man, that's the best chicken in the world.
And somebody told me that wasn't some good chicken. They ain't sent us.
They must have
sinning. They ain't getting right. God ain't showing you right.
They went to the wrong one. No, you're right. That's them, because all the Chick-fil-A's is good.
Oh, me.
But yeah, I was basically working jobs where I didn't have that much money.
Gotcha.
So I was always asking my grandma for money to, give me some hair, or ask my dad to give me some hair. And my money was going to my phone bill and hair.
Gotcha.
And so I'm just like, I want to make it to where it's affordable to girls that, can buy it from their checks and still have money left over. So if you look at my prices, they're not that expensive. And I don't really care about making as much money back. I just want to be able to help girls that I know want to get their hair done.
I got you. And the thing is, you are really doing a wonderful service, because like when you're able to make things so obtainable to where you're not breaking your back and your pockets to get it, you're going to get shown a lot of love. Because that's exactly what you're doing. You're providing hair at a very affordable price. Not trying to be in your pockets, but how much would you say you spent on some hair? Just want to know. Some girls be
at one time, or at,
I don't know, because I don't
on one product
say wigs for $600. I'm like, fam, you ain't got a bill or something? A car note?
The most I've ever spent, I would say, investing in my hair. Of course, and until I started making like a profit from it, I had to buy my own hair. So I had a photo shoot last year before I released my website, and I had to buy 3 different wigs. So that was the money, like that what broke me. I was like, each wig was like, I don't want to say how much I paid for it.
Okay, we gonna talk off camera. I just need to know, because that's a lot of money.
It was a lot of money. It was a lot of money for 3 separate wigs. So I was just like, dang,
Is it a month's of rent?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Are you kidding me? Yes. It's like
high-rise apartment or penthouse?
Yeah. You talking about like $1,000?
I'm in 1,000, 1,600, 1,800.
I would say about 1,200 for hair.
Jesus.
Yeah, like it's expensive, but the wigs are an investment.
I feel you, but it is an investment. It's like your hair. But I mean,
it's an investment to protect your hair, though, because a lot of us are going natural, and the beauty industry is still catered to the Caucasian hair. There is, a lot of beauty products for natural hair, but we weren't given that as kids. So, we're still, looking into that, and a lot of them are still very expensive because the demand is so high, supply is so low,
I feel you.
So Yeah, the wigs come in great, but we can just braid our hair up under, protect that, and still look good.
I mean, I'm not a judge. I love for women to look beautiful. There's a lot of beautiful people out here wigging it up. I don't care less. On your journey as an entrepreneur, what were some struggles that you've actually gone through that's not only strengthened you and your character, but kind of helped you along the way?
One, I had to learn how to budget money. I was like, I'm gonna get paid again in 2 weeks type thing, so I'm just spend it. Didn't have a savings account, didn't really care about budgeting, so I had to learn about budgeting my money for sure.
Right.
And then working with a lot of different people, I had to learn how to be a boss and not be a B word.
I got you. Because it's a difference.
It is a difference, but sometimes you gotta almost kind of get, to that line, because some people will try to cross you, and that's something that I dealt with last year. I lost a lot of money and I lost a couple of networks, but at the end of the day, you can't let people run over you, which is something else that I had to learn, like your worth whenever you are a businesswoman. But still, like, demanding respect, but in a respectful way.
When it comes down to business, I feel that women aren't given a fair share because they see business as being a male-dominated industry. But being in this industry and having to play with the boys, did you have to develop tough skin to be able to stand your ground in this kind of business?
Definitely have to have tough skin. Before I started doing all this, stacking up money, I was a car salesman, which is, I was working with sharks. So being in there, I really had to go against all the other men. There was a couple of girls in there, but like men stealing my deals and, stealing my customers, taking over. And I'm like, yo, I got this.
Them car deals are dirty.
And I worked at the worst one. Like, I will never do that again. I worked at the worst dealership. I mean, that's a whole nother story.
I understand.
Yeah, but it is a dog-eat-dog world wherever you are, especially if it is like a male-dominated industry. But yeah, I definitely had to get some tough skin because, to be honest, if you don't have no money, then you gotta give up some sex, and that's something that I wasn't gonna do. So yeah, so I had to stack my money.
Hey, for y'all ladies out there that want a word, Tarjay got it for you. Like, I'm just letting you. Hey, I'm being real because, I'm just like, hey, all these people trying to get flued out nowadays. What you doing to get flued out? So I wanted to say this question towards the end. You're a virgin, and I honestly think that you're the only one of the only virgins that I know. How were you able to save yourself in this current generation that we're in?
I like to make a joke. I was ugly growing up. I was like ugly throughout high school, so that helps.
Sometimes it doesn't.
It would help me because I wasn't really confident like that to date and stuff like that. So I didn't really have like a high school sweetheart until I was in the junior and then senior. I dated, well, not really dated, but I talked to this guy for a little while. He was my first kiss. I had my first kiss at 18, like a week before prom, like a couple weeks before prom actually, I remember.
Liddy?
No, it wasn't Liddy.
Oh, trash?
No, it was a great kiss, but I think that's what really like helped me not just give my virginity away to anybody.
Gotcha.
Because I waited so long to have my first kiss with somebody I really liked. I really liked him, and then he told me he had a girlfriend afterwards. So it was just like, oh, I had my first kiss with someone who's in a relationship. That pissed me off. Okay. So he was supposed to be my prom date and everything. He was no longer my prom date, but I still hung out with him after prom because everybody was doing something. I had nothing else to do, so we just still hung out. But yeah, he was my first kiss. But I talk about it on my social media platform a lot because being a virgin, it was very hard dating because before I had my self-esteem and knowing my worth, it took a hard hit on my self-esteem. Guys didn't want to date me. They're like, oh, you're a virgin. It really turned a lot of guys away, and then the guys that stayed just wanted to take it. So it was like no one was being genuine and all that. So I didn't really know like who I could trust, like who was being genuine. And then I was like, dang, am I not worth like just getting to know, or is that like lame now, like to just get to know somebody? So that helped. But I talk about it a lot on my YouTube channel and a lot on my Twitter. I have that talk a lot on my Twitter. Even with, like you said, being open, like with your sexuality, I talk about I still engaged in other things because I feel like I had to. Okay. So it was like, oh, I'm not having sex, so to keep him, I have to give head, or I have to, do this, blah, 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 blah. I really give head, that was about it. But now I know I don't have to do that. So the last time was like almost 2 years ago. And I've just been chilling since then because I learned that I can say no, and if he wants to stick around, he will. And if he doesn't want to, then
If he sticks around, he's real, and he really wants you.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, in the end spectrum, because I think about it like this: regardless of what's going on, the person that really wants you is gonna make sure that you're comfortable at all times. And if I gotta make you feel uncomfortable to give me something that's gonna give me pleasure, that shouldn't really give you pleasure. Cause
exactly. It's like I feel obligated at that point.
Yeah, and as you like, if you gotta make somebody feel obligated to give you something, that's what you really want.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I don't know, but I mean, I really do commend you because that's something that I know. I'm just gonna speak for myself. I probably wouldn't be able to go down that road. I wish I could moonwalk back a couple steps, but I'm already down the road.
Why wouldn't you feel like you would be able to?
Personally, because I like it. I've had it. I like it.
I love to getting head, and that's all.
Yeah, but it's different though.
It's different, really.
It's different, but
is it really different? Because just because I'm not doing them, don't mean I don't get horny. So.
But you. I'm trying to think what kind of show is we on. But at the same time, we gonna keep this moving. You have not, okay, at the same time, have you ever felt penetration?
No.
Okay, it's different. It's different.
It's not really different if you want.
It's different. It's different. It's like peanut butter and jelly.
It's not different because I know people that have decided to take that route. To stop. So it's not that difficult if you want that to be. We may have to sit down and have a one-on-one. We have to have a class. Because the thing is, at the same time, I'm kind of like on the outside looking in. Yeah. But with you, hey, continue to teach others, continue to reach others that are really going in the same journey as you. Yeah. No. Not even that. Because, like, when I talk about it on my social media, I don't want it to be just people going through it with me. People that are curious, talk about it, people who are celibate, and people who are virgins. So I want to be able to reach everybody, and then not even on a religious standpoint, because maybe it was religious when I was younger because that's what I was taught, but everybody who is going through it isn't religious. So I want to make sure that I'm able to reach everybody. Talking about it. What do you turn to when you're looking for motivation, whether it's in your music or in your business? When I'm looking for motivation, like my family really motivates me. My family, because we didn't have that much growing up. Like we've been homeless at one point, living with other people. We shared a 2-bedroom apartment with one of my aunties. So me and my sister, my dad, and my mom were all living in one room. And it was like during school, so me and my sister were on the floor, my mom and dad were on the bed, and I remember my first day of school clothes were from Walmart. There's nothing wrong with Walmart, but you know, growing up around like a lot of Caucasian people, everybody was wearing like North Face and you know Rainbow, and I was like, my dad Walmart. Yeah, but my dad still made it look good. My mom and dad still had us, you know, looking good. Our hair was still done. You know, aunties, and shout out to aunties and everybody that could do hair. They held it down. They really held it down. So really wanted to give my mom a wedding, because whenever her and my dad got married, they like had a ceremony at my grandma's kitchen. So that's something that I really want to do and just be able to provide. If that ain't true black love, if you have your ceremony in your granny kitchen, that boy, that's real love right there. That really is. So I want to be able to do that, give my mom a wedding. That'd be dope. I know you're gonna have a deck. Boy, you're gonna have it like Gucci Mane and Keisha wedding. Or not all. I'm not talking about as far as the glass and all that. Yeah, the glass and the diamonds. Maybe like on side of like the Kim Kardashian, you know. Oh, leave them alone. Leave them over there. Leave them over there. I like the Kardashians. Oh Lord. Yeah, we done took a left. But okay, before we get out of here, what can we expect from you in 2019, 2020, 2021? What can we expect? I am going to continue dropping more music. Now that I've figured out what I want to do, I'm going to go hard. I was going hard last year, but it wasn't really me. The type of music I was doing wasn't me at all. But now that I know what I want to do, I'm going to go hard with that. Dropping more hair, more colors. Just more of everything. What I really want to do is I really want to open a boutique with hair. I probably won't have time to work in it, so create job opportunities for other people. That's right. I have a lot of other things I'm working on. Some foundations. Me and my business partner have a foundation. I'm starting a nonprofit organization for my hair this year. I want to give away. I don't even want to just sell it for a lower price. I want to give away hair for cancer and alopecia patients. So my nonprofit organization is going to specialize with that. And I'm also I can't say who, but one of my close friends is running for council, so I'm going to be a part of his marketing team. So I'm excited about that. So a lot is going to be happening this year. Okay, before we get you to tell all your social media sites, YouTube channels, have them subscribe, I want to let you know, proud of you and what you're doing.
You are definitely on the right track. I'm inspired not only by your confidence and your will of faith. Continue to do what you're doing, because not only people may not come up to you all the time, but you're motivating a lot of people. So I just want to continue to give you that reassurance. Continue to do what you're doing, because God sees you, other people see you, and you continue to motivate a lot of other people.
Thank you.
Now tell them where they can follow you and subscribe to your YouTube channel.
You can all follow me on Instagram and Twitter, Tahja Season. That's Tahja Season, SZN, because it's Tahja Season and it's time to take over.
Okay.
And my YouTube channel is going to be linked in either of my Instagrams for my hair company, Prive Extensions, Prive Extensions. So yeah, Tahja Season on YouTube as well.
It's Tarjay season. It's the Walker review season. I want to thank everybody for continuing to like the video, subscribe to the channel, as well as leave comments on the videos. And I want to also give a shout out to Geek League Studios for allowing us to use the space. It's the Walker review. I'm gonna see you when I see you. Peace.